Welcome back, everyone. Dirch here, and today I wanted to talk about what's best in Borderlands. It's a common question you see all over the place, and it kind of drives me nuts. It's another one of those things, I see it in Reddit, I see it in Facebook, I see it in Discord, I see it in my comments, I see it in Twitch, I see it in the forums. Everywhere you go, it's always, what's the best gun? What's the best character? What's the best skill tree? What's the best skill? What's the best of best and best and best? And the answer is nothing and everything. Borderlands is a game of complexity, and you can't drill it down to just one thing, one character, one item. The best is always a combination of things, but it's always a best for like a situation, and even that, it's almost impossible to define what is the best. Let's, start off just Borderlands 2 guns to try to keep this simple. A common best gun is the Herald, but the Herald's really never the best. It's just always really good, and the Herald's really good because it's standalone. You don't have to do much. You don't have to build this tree around it. It's not hard to figure out how to use. You just point and click and it kills. And that's really good. And on sale with a grog, it's amazing. No doubt. You can survive forever and shoot forever, but that's the Herald and the grog together. It's already another item. But even on sale, it's always second best at best. It's never going to compare to Pimper Habbing for straight out damage output. And even Pimper Habbing you can way outdo doing other no kill overkill shenanigans. For bosses, it's never going to compete with the Interfacer. Deputy Sal's always going to beat it out when it comes out to, raw damage and everything. But does that mean Deputy Sal's the best? No. Does that mean the Orphan Maker is the best? No, because the Orphan Maker outside of the Deputy build with everything that makes it great is a really good shotgun, but it's definitely not the best. The Norfleet is commonly known as the best. I've probably even said the Norfleet's the best. But if you actually look at the Norfleet, because it's 3 ammo per shot and you get, 33 rockets, it's 11 shots. Without the sham, it's not that great at all because you can't use it. And if you don't want to be tied to the sham and you want to actually be able to use a rocket launcher fairly often as part of your build, you're probably better off with like a Top Neo or a Bada Boom. So the Norfleet's not even the best always. Snipers are even more complicated. You kind of have two snipers at the top there, the Pimpernel and the Leuta. They're both better at different situations. The Pimpernel in a lot of the games better than the Leuta, especially with the Zero's Bore and all that stuff, but you against the Dragons or Pete or Terra, the Leuta blows it away. So, what's the best sniper? It really depends on what are you doing. You can go down the line. There's almost never a best gun. It's always a combination of things, and even that, guns are good in combination of things. So the Leuta outperforms the Pimpernel in those bosses because it's so good at building CA, but in a lot of the parts of the game, the Pimpernel outdoes the Leuta because its interaction with Bore. So both of them are better than the other because of the way they interact with a skill, which means nothing stands alone. And that's kind of the point of Borderlands. This is a game of not quite infinite possibilities, but near infinite possibilities of what you can do. Near infinite possibilities of combinations of gear and skills and class mods and grenades and relics and characters. And there's so many ways to tie things together that you can't just drill it down to this is the best thing in the game. There might be optimal things for certain parts, but even those, the best build for the Dragons on said character won't necessarily be the best build with the same character against Pyro Pete or against the Warrior or, whatever. Everything in the game is so specific. The best build for one map isn't the best build for another map. If there even is a best build for a map, which I can test that there's not. You want to bring it to characters then. People always asking, who's the best character? There is none. They're all good and bad at certain parts. Yeah, Sal's the most broken, but Sal's also limited because of gun zerking, which means, you're not going to be ADSing. So if you love Doll guns, he's not your best character. If you love Jacob's guns, it's really hard to not be able to ADS and spam the triggers dual wielding. So, he can be hard for Jacob's guns kind of outside the deputy stuff. And also, leveling up, Sal doesn't start the game very strong. He gets to a point where he's really strong, but that's only if you really understand his skill tree. And then all the other characters, they're all everyone's pretty even. They're all good at different things, and they're all built different. A lot of people, when they're talking about those characters, it's common with, Axton, is he doesn't have that one OP skill like Money Shot. But Money Shot by itself isn't even that great. Money Shot is made good because of Inconceivable, and then you can chain it. But also, Sal's thing that really makes him good is kind of Get Some and Yippee-Ki-Yay allowing him to pretty much permanently gun Zerg. Because that's what makes Sal really good. Because once Sal goes out of gun Zerg, he's kind of weak. But Yippee-Ki-Yay and Get Some together are actually more powerful than Money Shot. Because that's what makes it all work. You go to like Zero, I did my Bor video. Bor is great in a few situations, but in a lot of situations, a lot of his other skills are way better. You go to Maya, some people say, oh, her broken skill is Cloud Kill. Look, Cloud Kill, although it's super powerful mobbing, it doesn't really help her at all raid, and she's still a bad raider after that was buffed. Maya, I just actually kind of posted this in the Discord. Maya isn't strong because of one thing. Maya's strong because she has kind of constant DPS. Her only DPS boost from kill skills, you could say kinetic deflections can be a little DPS, and Inertia's reload speed is definitely some DPS. That's her only kill skill DPS. Other than that, most of her skills are always on, and then she's got 2 DPS skills that are like Wreck and Chain Reaction. I guess you could count Helios, but Wreck and Chain Reaction that are phase lock. So she has 2 tiers of DPS, regular and phase lock. Boom. I mean, you can get into Reaper being off after halfway, but that's more of a rating thing. But so Maya's got really constant DPS, where a lot of other characters, Axon needs a lot of skills, Gage has got to build up Anarchy, Krieg's got to build up stacks. Like even Sal, Money Shot and No Shot like Overkill. Zero's got a lot of setup, CA, Rising Shot, all the critical hits, a lot of kill skills. Maya is just on. You can just go and kill. You don't need to set up. You just kill, Then she's got a lot of survival, so she can stay in the fight. She's got auto slag, so she doesn't have to swap weapons to slag. That's actually an increase. And her survival is both on health and shields and damage resistance with kinetic reflection. And you could even say crowd control, because, you're constantly stopping enemies from shooting you, and you could even count fleet, because, you can dodge shots. You combine all that, she's got a lot of different kind of survival, so you're not locked into one kind of survival. You can play her Rough Rider, you can play her shield heavy, you can play her so many different ways, bullet deflection like crazy with the antagonist and kinetic reflection. It's a combination of everything that makes Maya so good at what Maya does. It's not the one thing, it's a group of things. And because all these things aren't weapon dependent, she's good with just about anything. She's not just good with SMGs because of the Catcom. She's good with everything because of her diversity and always on builds. Gage, yeah, she's kind of locked into Anarchy, but Anarchy without Discord and Blood-Soaked Shields and all that stuff isn't the same either. It's always a combo. Craig's like, oh, there's Bloodsplosion, but really to make Bloodsplosion go, you need all these stacks, and yeah, with all those stacks, it's a combination of the entire tree that makes Bloodsplosion work. It's not just Bloodsplosion win, or Hellborn, and all this stuff. It's such a combination of things. It's the damage resistance so he can survive. It's the entire scope of building these skill trees and building these skill trees with gear. And there's no best shield. For certain builds, the Rough Rider is the best, but for other things, the Antagonist and Blockade are the best. Sometimes the Big Boom Blaster is the best if you want a lot of grenades and rockets. If you need to health stack, the Evolution and Neo are the best. If the B is the best for, increasing your damage because it's that crazy amp shield. The Sham's got the best bullet deflection, but it's also weak. Sometimes you're better off with a sponge so you can get elemental resistance. There's no perfect item. It's a combination of things. So when people ask you, what's the best, the answer is nothing and everything. That's really it, because the best thing about Borderlands is combining everything to make something that's awesome. But even when you make something that's awesome, there's hundreds and millions of other awesome combination of things that are also the best. And it just comes down to what's fun. Another common one I hear is people asking, hey, I want to stream, what's the best character to stream? The best character to stream is yourself. I just made a video not long ago how I hate Nisha. And this weekend, Cold Treats, Frozen himself, was playing Nisha in the pre-sequel, and I was watching the shit out of him and loving it. Because I was watching him. I wasn't watching Nisha. I could care less who he's playing. I'll watch a streamer if they're playing, if it's them. That's really it. You don't watch a streamer because they're playing a certain character. You play a streamer because that streamer is engaging and entertaining. Same thing with YouTube. You don't watch YouTube for a character. You might for advice on a character, but you follow YouTube channels because you like the YouTuber, hopefully. Some of you probably hate watch me. But, that's the thing. It's just, the whole question of the best, you can't name a best gun. It's just, it doesn't exist, so don't try. And I know I just did the best manufacturer. It's kind of a breakdown thing. So sometimes I'm a hypocrite with it. You can hear me calling things the best every now and then, but they're not. And it's just situationally, and even in that situation, there's just never a best answer. There are a ton of good answers. There are hundreds of thousands of right answers. There's some wrong answers too. The important thing is what's most fun to you. Because if you can make it work, it's the best. That's really it. If you can have fun playing something that works, even if you're playing it as a challenge, which a lot of people do, especially since the game's been out that long, then that's the best for you. And that's, a 13-minute rant about no being best anything, which is a terrible sentence and not the best sentence. But yeah, that's it. Hope you guys get it. And yeah, I will see you all later. If you have not yet subscribed, please do so. Hit that like button. I got a feeling some of you are going to hit that dislike for some reason because you're going to be butthurt because I told you the thing you said is the best is not the best. But be butthurt and give me a thumbs down. I'm cool with that. It helps me out. Comment what you think on this topic. Tell people when they ask what the best is, tell them nothing and tell them everything. And follow me on Twitter, Facebook. Come join the Gearbox Discord that I run. And I will see you all later. Thanks for watching once again. Bye.